And just to be completely honest, I've never had that kind of stress in my life. And when you make your own business, like I built this thing, right? Like I'm setting my own hours. And I ended up having more stress than if I was working for someone 9 to 5. So all that to say that I'm making some different changes next year and really striving to get a better work-life balance.
Hi, and welcome to Your Selling Podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Kirk, aka Your Selling Guide. I'm a small town girl who took a big risk and quit a steady corporate desk job to travel the US in an RV. Along the way, I started selling on Amazon, grew a 7-figure business, visited all the lower 48 states, bought a farm, and today I am still doing what I love to do, selling on Amazon while helping other sellers do it too. Each week, I will share Amazon tips and tricks and bring in guests to share their stories, expertise, and tips on the platforms that they use. Think of this as a sit down with your Amazon bestie where you can learn, ask, start, and grow your online selling business. Welcome to Your Selling Pod.
Hi, and welcome back to Your Selling Podcast. I'm your host, Nikki Kirk, and on today's episode, I thought I would take you through just a look at the last year and kind of celebrate the milestones I've hit and also just kind of touch on my plans for 2024 and a little bit of a work-life balance, which hopefully you guys can relate to a little bit. First, I just want to give a huge thank you to everyone who is listening now, has listened in the past, or will listen to this in the future. Anytime you start anything in life, it's super nervous and nerve-wracking, and there's all that fear and imposter syndrome, and I definitely had that. But we have done a year of episodes now on Your Selling Podcast, and I can tell you that I was super nervous those first episodes. It reminded me a lot of when I first started YouTubing. It wasn't even that I was doing Amazon necessarily when I started YouTubing, but I was super nervous. That first video I did on Amazon, I'm like whispering right up against the side of the RV in a crowded campground, just like feeling silly, recording myself, hating the sound of my voice and all of that. So it's a huge milestone. And I just want to thank you guys for going along the journey with me. And I hope that this podcast has been helpful to you, encouraging, learning new things. I know that I'm learning new things all the time through talking to other sellers. So hopefully you are as well by listening. If you've ever kind of researched podcasting or been interested in it or anything like that, then you've probably read or heard that those first episodes that you put out are so important because it's what people go back to and binge from the beginning. And so it was a lot of pressure that I put on myself because really no one else is putting that pressure. It's just pressure I put on myself, which I tend to do a lot. But anyways, so I had a lot of pressure and that I wanted it to be really good and helpful. And, you know, anytime you start something new, like I said, it's really scary. So I did think they went okay. I mean, also the beauty of podcasting is that I could re-record them and put them back up as episodes 1, 2, 3. I'm not going to, but it's just something that I was reading and it made me more nervous and all of that. So it did go through well. Like I used to read my scripts from a teleprompter. I'm just now going off of a few notes and kind of spitballing. So any feedback you guys have is more than welcome because I am interested to hear like what your thoughts on the podcast, what would make it better. I know it would make it better if you were a guest on the podcast. I know that. So you are very welcome to email me and get set up to be on the podcast, to be my guest. I would absolutely love to chat with you and I will get more into that in a little bit. So this year we broke ground on the shop and the shop is pretty much done. There's some like little small things here and there, but we've moved the RV down to the shop. So I can just walk in anytime, go to my office. I'm slowly getting my office set up, but over the year, I have had 3 different mics, I think, on this podcast. Some of the initial episodes are a little bit, grainy because I didn't listen to the audio before editing it later on down the road. But anyway, so I'm on my 3rd mic. I still am not sure that I love it, but once I get set up in the office better, it's got a bit of an echo. So I'm dealing with that and like how to like kind of take the echo out. There's really good software now. I use DaVinci now. That I'm also on my 3rd editing software, but that's been over years. Anyways, so I am able to take the echo out, but it still is kind of while recording it it's a little odd. So eventually I will have a full setup that I don't have to take up and down, the joys of living in an RV, but I will have it just set up and it'll be ready to go. So that's one exciting thing that happened in 2023 is the shop is done. And now in 2024 and this last month of 2023, I'm slowly moving in and setting it up to see how that's going to be and what that'll look like. 2023 was a lot of change for me, a lot of different moving parts. So like I said, we built the shop that I've never had anything built. I can honestly say I don't ever want to do that again. I mean, I'm going to because I want a house, but like that was awful. It's as awful as you hear people talk about. It's just on your relationship with people, with the communication, just everything seems to fall apart at all ends, and all the surprise costs that you didn't know. So it just has felt like I've been bleeding out all my hard-earned money this year on the shop, but it is going to pay off in my Amazon business. I will get into that a little bit later, but it's all worth it. But it's never fun going through those growing pains and the stress that comes along with it. I also had a lot of changes in my Your Selling Guide business, lots and other businesses, just lots of turnover, and handling and dealing with people is like, it's a huge aspect of my job, right? Because I'm helping other sellers. And so sometimes if you're not in the right mental state, it can just cause all kinds of havoc. And so I felt like that happened to me a little bit this year on the back half of the year. And just to be completely honest, I've never had that kind of stress in my life. And when you make your own business, like I built this thing, right? Like I'm setting my own hours. And I ended up having more stress than if I was working for someone 9 to 5. So all that to say that I'm making some different changes next year and really striving to get a better work-life balance. If you've heard any of my videos, then you know that I love selling on Amazon. It's my absolute favorite thing to do. So much so that I started talking about it to other people, friends, family, people on Instagram, which was where I was kind of hanging out at the time. And I was just talking about it. And so my natural tendency is to help other people in any way that I possibly can. I love helping other people. I love bringing people together. I just love seeing other people succeed. So through that, I started obviously Your Selling Guide and teaching people how to sell on Amazon. And if I'm looking back over the last year and a half, where I'm thinking I've gone a little array is my whole life has become Amazon and teaching Amazon. And the teaching Amazon part has eclipsed the Amazon part of selling in my first love and joy, right? And so all I'm doing, I feel like now, is either helping people sell on Amazon or selling on Amazon myself, to the point where I'm now helping people more and the Amazon part is getting a backtrack. And I essentially am having little to no fun. I enjoy all of it, but at the end of the day, like even as much as you love any job you're in or doing, you can love your job, but you need other things outside of your job. I miss having fun. I miss going on adventures. And when we were RVing, it was, different place all the time. We're always going somewhere new. Some new things are coming up. I can take a break and go sit out my front porch on the beach or on the lake or whatever. And so part of that is just missing now. I'm not doing that. I'm all work essentially and no fun. So in 2024, my goals are to really carve out and set aside time for either nothing or fun of doing something, like anything really, because I will just kind of go crazy and I'll start working if I have a day off or whatever. And I really don't want to be in that mindset. I want to be able to go. So last year or this year, I started doing pottery. I'm going to continue doing that and add other things into the mix. I'm planning to scale back some of the content I put out, but none of it is going away. My hope is that if anything, you won't notice that the content schedule has changed or anything like that. In fact, you'll just notice that I'm more happy and like feeling refreshed and more energetic to do it, because right now, sometimes it's really a struggle and I just don't want to do anything. And yet I have to do something. I've got people that are asking me questions. I need my help. And so it's kind of a personal struggle that I'm dealing with right now. There are some big milestones I hit in my Amazon business this year. So on a happier note, I just want to walk you through those because of course they are the most exciting thing to me. So when I started selling on Amazon, I was in an RV already when I started. So 2017, I have had really some big goals that I want to hit with my business. And this year I was able to achieve 2 of them, and I'm so excited about it. Q4 is here. It is the best time of the year as an Amazon seller, but if you don't know what's going on with your profits, your money, your business, do you really know if that business and product is making any money? This is why I love Sellerboard and why I've partnered with them on the Your Selling podcast. Sellerboard truly is the best way for an Amazon seller to see their true business, how much profit you're making on a product, and better yet, why I love it, it forecasts out your total sales for the month, and you can see by quarter, by month, or by the entire year how much money your items are making you. We all know different things come up in Amazon business, from returns to various Amazon fees. All of it is broken down in Sellerboard because, like I've said, if you don't know your business numbers, you don't know what's going on. And as new small business owners, that's the area that gets fallen behind because we truly don't totally understand it. So why not use this software to fully understand what's going on? Sellerboard is offering my listeners 2 months free, no credit card required. All you got to do is head to yoursellingguide.com/sellerboardprofit and sign up. Again, you just log into your Amazon account in Sellerboard and everything is pulled over, including all your past items you've ever had. Enter in your cost of goods, and finally, you will see the true profit picture of what's going on in your business. Again, try it 2 months free at yoursellingguide.com/sellerboardprofit and really understand your business this Q4. Now, on a happier, exciting note, so in 2023, I actually hit 2 really big goals that I've always had from my Amazon business since I started. So again, I started in August of 2017 in an RV, and while selling on an RV is a lot of fun and I highly recommend it, there are a lot of things that I just couldn't do because I didn't have the space or a place for it to be sent to and all of that. So here are some of the goals that I set for myself way back in like 2017. One was maybe 2018, but that I achieved this year. One of my goals, which I've had from the very beginning, was to make some very specific seasonal bundles, which would require that I order things from wholesale or distributors. And I was able to do that this summer. I hit that main goal. I can't even tell you how great it felt. And the bundles didn't even do well. But it still feels so amazing that I got to achieve that goal that I've set out for years, and I finally was able to do it. So the bundles didn't go well for a variety of different reasons. One of them was some issues with Amazon and their compliance documents. But I was able to learn a whole lot, and I still have the product, so I'll still be making some changes and doing a little bit different and building upon that idea of the bundle that I had. So I'm really excited about it, even though it was not a success. I think I made about 10 to 12 bundles. Like 3 of them got pulled down, and I ended up selling only a few units of 2 of them. One did better than the other one. I can keep selling them, so I'm not really worried about it. And with anything on Amazon, you learn, you adjust, you make changes, and you go forward. So that is one of the huge goals, and it's kind of crazy. It didn't do well. I'm sitting on a lot of money that I used to order it, but I'm still super excited that I hit that benchmark and now on to the next higher one. Another huge goal that I've able to achieve or just kind of start dabbling in is ordering some of the brands that I've been selling year after year wholesale. So there's a million courses out there that you can spend thousands of dollars to have people tell you essentially the same thing. I know because I've bought a course and I have a friend who's gone through a different course by a different person. You guys, they're all telling you the exact same thing. It's cold calling, cold emailing, door knocking essentially until you get a yes. Now, I wouldn't say that those methods are great, but it is a numbers game. The more you talk to people, the more you will be able to hopefully get an account and sell. A lot of them don't allow you to just sell straight on Amazon. So you have to have other things out there or work your magic and just charm the pants off them. Either way, don't waste your money. I'm sure there's some free YouTube videos out there explaining it, but it really is just that you have a website. Make yourself a website so you look presentable and you charm the pants off of people by emailing, calling, whatever. And as you heard, I think it was in Caitlin's episode where she talked about she was on the other side of that. And all you get is the same emails from 50 different people a day. So know that these companies, you're not a one-off. They're hearing from people all the time who want to sell their products. So all that to say, I've got a couple of accounts that I've been able to get, and I'm going to work on getting more of those. I'm in no way going to start teaching you guys how to wholesale because I just told you everything there is to know about it. But one of the ways I'm going to use it is to grow my business into doing bundles. So I've already talked about bundles. At this point in time, my bundles are doing my best. They're the best out of everything. I love retail arbitrage. I'm not going to stop doing retail arbitrage. Some of my bundles are retail arbitrage bundles, but I am looking to grow my business and scale it to a point where I have not been able to do, again, traveling in an RV with limited space. You can only do so much. So one of the ways I plan to kind of do things differently is, instead of looking at wholesale as I want to buy this pancake mix and I want to sell it 1-to-1, right? Buy the single, sell it on Amazon as a single. Maybe I'm going to look at multi-packs, or maybe I'm going to look at doing different bundle ideas on things like that I can use, that I can get readily available. Now, margins are usually thinner on wholesale because you're going to do volume, right? But I still want solid margins that make it worth my time, because it is still just me doing it here. Even though I have the space, I don't plan to bring anyone in to help me because I can do it myself. And yeah, it's fun for me. Having the little warehouse section of my building is the most exciting thing because I love a warehouse. I think I'd be perfectly happy working in a warehouse. But anyways, I really want to get my business to more automated and be able to scale the volume. So if I can order things on repeat, make bundles, throw them up, they sell, and keep that going, I'm going to be doing that all day, which is, I'm sure, the same thing you want to do as well. We all want to replan, right? And so I'm going to make my own replans. That's the plan anyways. Over on my YouTube channel, Nikki Kirk, I am still going to be putting out Amazon specific content. I'm just planning to scale it back a little bit. So I was doing 3 videos, if not 4 videos a month with a YouTube live in there. I'm going to scale it back to 2 videos with a YouTube live. So essentially, I'm just giving myself a week off. And that week off will be, and it's not off, but it's a week off of a video where I have to shoot, write, edit. I said that in different orders. Write, shoot, edit, put it up, make the thumbnail. It's a lot of work on the back end. And as you saw earlier in this episode, it takes a toll. So having that week breather room is really good. I mean, I've already gone through and planned out the first couple of months, and I had to remember, like, no, I can't do all that. Like, it's okay. I'm just literally at the point of telling myself, it's okay. You don't have to do it all. Even though I just said I was going to do it all in the warehouse. You see the problem? Again, my hope is that you won't even notice any changes except for that I'm happier and refreshed and looking better, feeling better. Part of the shop that we've got everything, we just have to assemble it all, is a home gym. So I got a Smith machine. I love lifting weights. I really miss lifting weights. I did join a local gym, and then I broke my leg last year and I never went back to it. I've just been doing like a Peloton bike and treadmill, and those are great, but I really miss lifting weights. So I'm excited to have that home gym part of it and just get a more robust, like, things happening outside of Amazon and editing videos for Amazon and selling on Amazon. I just need something else, right? That's the whole reason we sell on Amazon to begin with, is to create that freedom to do whatever you want to do, to take a day off when you want to take a day off. And a lot of it is just me allowing myself to take a day off and knowing that most people won't even notice. And so why am I killing myself? But anyways, that's my goal for 2024, is just to take some more time off, to rely on the people that I have in my life that are here to help and achieve the things that I want to achieve in this business. So I'm really excited for that balance. And I'm most excited because I have to tell you, the most fun part of this year was I started hosting meetups. I haven't hosted meetups since like 2016 back in LA. So hosting meetups is so much fun, and having this podcast where I get to talk to all of you and have you on and sharing your journeys. I cannot reiterate how much it means. I'm sure if you listen to any of the episodes with guests, or you heard something, you learned something, you saw yourself in their life and how they're making it happen, and you took it and you did whatever, like, it means something to hear that you're not alone. And so having guests on this podcast in all walks of life and all manner of selling on all the different platforms that they sell on, it means a lot. So I can't do it without you. I really do want to talk to you. If you've been selling a week, 2 weeks, 2 months or 5 years or 10 years, I would love to have you on the podcast and share your story, your backstory, how you got into it, how you make it work for your life, the struggles and everything in between, because it really is how you just learn from other people, but also see yourself and see what's possible in the grand scheme of what you want to do with your Amazon business or whatever retail business that you have going on. So please email me, podcast@yoursellingguide.com. It's my inbox. It comes right to me, and I will schedule an interview with you, and we can chat more about your Amazon journey and how it has changed your life, hopefully for the better. I just want to thank you guys so much for just listening to this. Honestly, it was just something I've always wanted to do. I finally made the time to do it this year, and it has been an absolute blast and a pleasure to do it. I don't have to edit them anymore. I now have an editor who's going to watch this and edit it for me, and that's been absolutely amazing. That gives me some more freedom back. And so I'm just kind of, what do they call it? Buying your time back now. And I'm just trying to buy back some time so that I have more time for fun in 2024. Coming up in January, I'll be talking about income tax, and I'll have Mark 2 of Not Your CPA on the podcast to talk more about income tax and Amazon selling. So look out for that in January. I hope you guys all have an absolutely amazing holiday season. I hope Q4 has been super profitable for you, and even more so now because we're just in that good part right now where Q4 gets crazy profitable. Hopefully you're having an amazing Q4, and I want to wish you guys all a very happy new year, and I will be back in January after a 2-week break, time off where I'm absolutely not working. I'm very looking forward to it. So thank you guys so much for listening. If you liked this podcast, don't forget to follow me wherever you listen to your podcast. Subscribe on YouTube. We actually just hit 100,000. I wish. No. We hit 1,000 subscribers. 1,000. It feels like 100,000. That's how big it feels to me. 1,000 subscribers. So I would love to keep adding to that number because it means a lot to me that anyone's even watching these or listening to begin with. Leave me a review wherever you listen to. And most of all, please email me any of your comments, anything. If you want to be on the podcast, all of that at podcast@yoursellingguide.com. Until next year, happy sourcing.